Hey there guys, this is Reckles with WTBGold, and today is a really exciting video. I'm super pumped about this. Also, today's suspenders were given to me by one of y'all. Persephone sent these to me from Germany. They're little Edelweiss flowers, so thank you so much. But today's video is super important. The channel is expanding. It's been a goal of mine for a long time to have the channel be about more than just gold guides. I love gold making. I'm an expert in gold making, but there's no one place on the internet where you can go to consistently get reliable, good tutorials on video game information. So I want the channel long-term to be like, if someone wants to find out how to get into the military base in Grand Theft Auto 8, I want them to think of WTBGold first, and then if the information isn't there, then you just Google it. But you know you can get solid information on any video game at WTBGold. Maybe we'll have to change the name. But today's video is looking at people who want to join the channel. I asked in a previous video for y'all to submit 2-minute guides on something that you're an expert in WoW. We're just expanding into other areas of WoW right now, and I will still be doing gold guides. But these people are playing for prizes. So we've got my wonderful Twitch mod Smar handmade these. We've got the Horde banner, which is simple. It's rugged. It's a single stitch along the outside. A lovely banner. And we've got the Alliance one, which is... it takes itself a little too seriously. It's got little tassels down here. It's got the full stitching. I love that she captured the two factions that well. And I will have a link to her crochet website down below. She will do personalized things. So here's one she made for the channel. I have this outside my studio. It's wonderful. It's got a little flecks of gold in there. It's fantastic. Makes me so happy every time I come to record. So what are we doing today? I asked y'all to submit 2-minute videos showing me what you're capable of, what we could expect from your guides if you join the team. And we got so many. I love it. So we've got 11 or 12 videos that we're going to go through today. If it's longer than 2 minutes, I'll edit it down, but I want to hear you, the viewers, thoughts. Would you subscribe to this video? What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? Everyone loves constructive criticism, but remember, the people are going to be reading these comments, so be cool. So, moral of the story, I care about what you think. I want you to be involved in what you watch going forward. All right, let's get into it.
Hello, this is Senppai with WTBGold, and my expertise is lore, so I'm going to go into what exactly started the faction war leading into this expansion. It starts with bringing down Argus and the Pantheon finally getting a hold of Sargeras and trapping him, but as they're doing that, Sargeras stabs Azeroth with his massively huge sword. No double entendre. Gallywix, with Sylvanas' support, has his goblin engineers researching and mining Azerite in Silithus after he brought to her attention just how powerful this stuff seems to be. Sylvanas is worried that the Alliance will get their hands on it and start building weapons. Similarly, the SI-7 of Stormwind, Master Matthias Shaw, had his people spying on the goblins' efforts. He also brought a chunk of the stone to King Anduin, who also worried that the Horde was going to make weapons with it. Shortly after this, Magni, who is now the Speaker of Azeroth, meets with the Council of Three Hammers and King Anduin in Ironforge to recruit healers to restore Azeroth. He expresses worry about the Azerite that Anduin shows him, and then continues on with a meeting with the Horde leaders in Thunderbluff to recruit healers, but also requesting the removal of the goblin mining operations. This is when Sylvanas has an idea to lure the Alliance Navy down to Silithus, and then she's going to move in on Teldrassil to capture it and hold its citizens hostage. After a short conversation with Dalaran, she decides instead to order the tree burned. This obviously made a lot of people very angry, so the Alliance decided to take the battle to Sylvanas' front door in Lordaeron, which ends in Sylvanas unleashing a whole bunch of blight bombs on the capital while Anduin, Gen, Illyria, and Jaina are in the throne room. Jaina saves their butts, and both leaders fly off in their own separate ways. Since then, both factions have dealt with their own infighting as well as attacks against and from the other faction, and that's just the beginning of the whole thing. Where's this going in the future? Only time will tell. For more lore discussion, check out my podcast that I do with a friend who knows nothing about Warcraft, but it's very funny. This has been Senppai with WTBGold. I'll notice you next time.
So Senpai's was amazing. I love that it was a mix of cinematics and in-game shots. It was edited really well when she was talking about Magni. There was a picture of Magni when she was talking about Anduin. There was a picture of Anduin, so you could follow the characters. That helps you follow the story if you're looking at what the person is talking about. Good combination of visual and all that. It wasn't necessarily a guide, but guide doesn't really make sense when you're talking about lore discussions. It's more just sharing information. So it was an appropriate approach to the topic. I also love that there was a little bit of personality thrown in there with Jaina saved her butts. I laugh every time I see that. So let me know what you guys think down below, but let's move on.
Do you want to be able to make gold for your mount in Classic WoW as a tank or healer?
Yes.
Do you want to be able to do it without having to respec and be able to stay that mighty tank? Do you think it's going to be involving killing multiple mobs, finding the best area to camp?
Hail to the night.
No, that's not the case. It's fishing. Hey everyone, Echo here from Want to Buy Gold. Today I'm going to be giving you a gold guide for Classic WoW. I'm a vanilla WoW veteran. I played a Warlock in Retail Classic. I managed to hit the gold cap while in the guild Blood Legion, as well as hitting the gold cap in Cataclysm. Alright, so if you can't guess where we are, we're actually in Foralis, one of the best places to have fishing. Now, in order to fish in this area, you're going to have to actually get your fishing up. Now, I could come out with a guide on how to get your fishing up. And the fish that we're going to be getting is the sun scale, the NIGHTFIN, the stone scale, and the winter squid. Alright? Raiders need this. They're going to be at certain times of the day where you're going to be able to catch them more efficiently. NIGHTFIN in the sun scale, you can get it between 6 a.m. and 12 p.m. Between 12 p.m. and 6 p.m., you can get only the sun scale. No NIGHTFIN. 12 a.m. to 6 a.m., you can only get the NIGHTFIN, not the sun scale. Now, this is going to be really needed for healers. It gives you MP5, and that's really good for paladins, shamans, priests. The next one on our list would be the sun scales. Now, the reason that this is needed because it's for tanks. It's going to be for your tank flasks. And you have to remember, this is basically just clicking a button. Okay? And that's not even talking about the winter squid. The winter squid is so good. I think it either gives you the words are hard. I think it either gives you the critical strike or the agility. Can't really remember off the top of my head, but this is very good. Here's the downside. Just like in its name, you can only catch it in the wintertime. So by the time Classic comes out, you're actually going to be getting the bass, which is a spirit buff. And I would say probably after, if you farmed probably 2 hours a day, within 2 weeks, you'll have your epic mount easy. No problem. You having problems getting your normal mount? Go fishing. Go after the deviant fish right outside the well and caverns, or in the well and caverns. You can even go to the well and caverns instance, make a right, and boom, you actually have a good fishing area. And no, this ain't gonna be killing 100 mobs, killing 1,000 mobs, none of that stuff. It's just clicking a button and getting your epic mount. It's that easy. I'm sure I have the prices right here. Hope you guys all have a good one. Peace.
Gosh, there was so much good information here. So I'm a Wrath baby. I don't know anything about Classic. I didn't know that there were fish that were actually seasonal. I thought Midnight Salmon was the first one to have something only available during a specific time. I didn't know that was a throwback, so that's really cool. I loved the little flame transition. I don't know if y'all caught that, but that was a nice little touch. I loved that he set up his credibility by saying he was in Blood Legion and he got Realm first. You know, I'm a big Riggs fanboy. His rage videos are amazing. And y'all may have missed it, but I love that when he was talking about actually going out and doing this and how easy it is to do it, you could actually see that he had a bunch of fish in his bags. And what didn't I like about the video? What would I change? It kind of dragged. a little bit, but that's just practice talking to a camera. You want it to sound like you're having a conversation with someone. You don't want it to sound like you're reading a script. And I have some tricks for that we can share if y'all like this guy's information. The other thing, just general YouTuber trick, is if you're talking about something, if you're listing the 4 things, some people are auditory learners, some people are visual learners, so put that stuff up in a title, say like number 1, SQUID, number 2, NIGHTFIN. If you're saying it's only available during specific times, then have a little bar that's 24 hours and say like during this time you can catch this fish, during this time you can catch this fish. Takes a little bit of doing. You have to learn how to make some basic titles, but you can do most of that from within the editing software. But let me know what you guys think. What did you like? What did you not like? Does it excite you to go fishing when Classic goes out? Do you believe that you will be fine on gold when you get there? And would you subscribe to the channel after watching that video? Let's move on.
Hey guys, this is Rindar with Want to Buy Gold, and today I have 5 resources to help you get better in raiding in Mythic Plus. Here we go. Number 1 is Blood Mallet. This site is a series of pre-simmed equipment and can be very valuable when you need to quickly identify if that new trinket or azurite piece is an upgrade. It has breakouts for every class and spec in the game as long as it's DPS. At this point there are no HPS or meters for tank rankings. Number 2 is going to be Raider.io. This site is used to track how your character is doing in raiding in Mythic Plus. You should use this tool to see what dungeons you can prioritize to maximize score, or just take a look at how your team and guild stack up on your server or in the world. So number 3 is going to be Icy Veins. This site has information on how to stat, spec, and play every spec in the game. This is a very good resource to get you started and learn how to play a proper rotation, select talents for the content you're running, or get some tips and tricks for Mythic Plus and raiding. Number 4 is going to be Wowhead. Besides being your one-stop shop for all things WoW, they also host the Fat Boss guides for written strats for raiding, as well as a great breakout for every class and spec, similar to Icy Veins. Don't be afraid to look over both of these resources and ask questions in your class Discord if there are problems or discrepancies between the 2 resources. So for number 5, we've got Raidbots. So this site basically gives Simcraft an easy to use overlay. Use this to simulate your character's damage and see what gear is best, how to gem and enchant, or also to get a true stat priority for your character. Well guys, I hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions, hit me up in the comments section below. But until next time, later y'all.
So Rindar is actually my GM on my Horde server. He just started on YouTube a couple months ago, and he's already up to 500 sub. He and his wife are crushing it. They're just making a ton of videos. But I love this guide. This is a solid guide. Now, it does show that making a 2-minute guide is really hard. You have to very briefly cover things, talk a little quickly, and just kind of skim over the surface. This is embarrassing, but I didn't know about Blood Mallet. I knew about raid bots, but I haven't been using it. So, like, okay, now I know where to go. I didn't honestly know that Icy Veins had Mythic Plus specific information. Like, I don't know if y'all read the little bits there, but like it was saying what enemies to interrupt with what abilities, like the important things you should know. So that's great. Good information, good filming, good editing. The transitions were absolutely amazing. They used a different transition in between each one. They had like a clock wipe and a pinwheel and like a finger branch together. I don't know what that blinds, but I loved it. I love the guide. Let me know your thoughts. What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? And would you want Rindar to join the team?
Are you tired of seeing NPCs with outfits that look better than yours? Or maybe you're turning tricks just to impress a girl. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lothex with Want to Buy Gold, and my drapes don't match my carpet. My axe doesn't match my transmog. See, a while back, I had an amazing axe that would have complemented this perfectly in my disposal, but I sold it for 9K. Take a look at it. This is the Plundered Molten Reaper, and it was perfect with my outfit. My next series is going to be all about how to fill out that transmog collection. If you want to start farming this axe, Queue up for island expeditions and kill fire elementals. If you manage to queue for the Molten K, you should focus on the Volcano Zone, but these guys can appear on any island expedition. Whether you love PvP and can't wait to get cool sets like this Wrathful plate armor, or fail sets like this Ruthless plate armor.
It's pretty.
Or you prefer PvE and want to go after the very cool
Look at the
looking
colors.
Heroes Dreadnought set. Or perhaps the weirdest color palette of all time, the Conqueror's Battle Gear. Either way, you'll be better equipped to soar to new heights, and the next time you're alone with your love interest, you won't be afraid to pull out your weapon. I hope you liked my video. Thank you to Reckles for this opportunity, and I hope I'll get voted in. Please feel free to check out my channel at Lothex Game TV, and thanks. Until next time.
Solid guide, under 2 minutes, so thank you for that. Telling you how to get an awesome axe. That axe looks absolutely sick. Queue up for island expeditions if you want that axe. I love the personality, the cheesy jokes. I finally understand how y'all feel when I throw out some bird puns. So I get it now, and I'm not sorry. There was a little bit of the talking to the camera thing, but that's a pretty easy fix and just comes with some experience. So let me know what you guys think. What did you like? What did you not like? Do you want transmog guides? Let me know down below, and let's move on.
Hi everyone, this is Webb from Wanted by Gold, and I want to talk to you about a simple and easy weekly mount farm you can do on each character in your garrison in Draenor. You're going to need a level 3 garrison and 200 garrison resources, which you can get from the cache next to your town hall. Talk to your garrison quartermaster and purchase the Missive Assault on Shatrath Harbor. If you're Horde, your quartermaster is right outside your town hall, Sergeant Grimjaw.
Good job showing
Now
both
fly
factions.
up to Talador near Shatrath City. There's tons of stuff to kill. It should only take about 5 to 10 minutes. If you kill any rare spawns, those will move your bar up 25%, so it goes pretty quick.
Good job.
Head back to your town hall and turn in the Assault on Shatrath Harbor. This will trigger an invasion. Talk to the quartermaster outside, who will have a Shadow Council invasion option. We get this because we did the Shatrath Harbor quest specifically. Once the invasion begins, it'll take about 7 minutes to complete. The whole point of invasion is to kill everything, but don't worry, your guards will be whatever level you are, so if you're level 120, all your guards will be too, and you're fighting level 100 mobs. So none of your guards should be killed. Complete bonus objectives, and continue scoring points. Every 100 points or so, your guards will all heal to full. Just keep doing this, don't let any buildings burn down, and after about 6 minutes, a raid boss will spawn. This final boss will always be a giant infernal. One-shot it for a chance at the mounts. As long as your score is over 1300, you'll get 2 chances for the mounts. Both of the epic caches that drop off the final boss has a chance for one of these 4 mounts. You'll also get transmog gear and auction house parts for the garrison auction house, which can sell for a few thousand gold on most servers. So, with this, good luck and have fun. This is Webb. I'll see you later.
Webb, awesome job. Great. Like this is one of my favorites so far. Really good information. Sounded like he was just talking. The editing was really, really good. Had in-game music, which was running the length of the entire video, so it didn't chop up with his individual cuts. And y'all may not have noticed it, but he used a transition in between the start of the invasion, the middle of the invasion, and the end of the invasion, in between those 3 bits. That was kind of a horizontal blur. It kind of showed going forward through time. So he was using transitions that helped tell the story he was trying to say. Great job. Something I would change or improve, I would put the benefit to the video in the front. Like, you got right into the information, and that was great, but it was kind of like, well, why are we doing this? You want to say, like, here's Webb with Want to Buy Gold. Here's how you get 2 chances at each of these 4 awesome mounts that you may not have yet. Let's get into it. And, like, that way, people are excited, and they know what they're watching, and they hang around to find out the individual steps of how to do that. Another thing at the start, again with the titles, so number 1, 500 resources. Number 2, you need to do the Shatrath Harbor mission. Number 3, you need to do the invasion. Something like that will help people who are unfamiliar with this content follow along so much better. But for real, dope guy. Let me know if you guys think it was as good or if you just hate anything that has to do with garrisons. Let's move on.
Hello, it's Tier Blue with Want to Buy Gold. 2 minutes, 2K, let's go. Okay, so you want to hit 2K and you want to do it the best and fastest way possible. Well, following this easy 2-minute
I'm bad
guide,
at PvP.
you'll have a dream achievements to flex on
Let's
your friends and guildies in a week or so. Well, the first step is to figure out what role you are. Do you like to do high damage and stun other enemies to build up a kill? Or do you like to call out targets so your teammates can know who to hit and who to stun on what to do? Maybe you like to heal and support your teammates by setting up stuns and making sure everybody stays alive. This one's probably the funnest one. Or perhaps like me, you like to tank and carry flags from point A to point B. There is currently a very high demand for tanks at the moment because there is not many tanks. Okay, so now you need to join a team. A great way to join a team is by asking for PvP guilds in trade chat. This is a great way to make new friends and gain a little bit of experience with PvP. Or maybe you're more of a leader. You make your own guild so you can choose what kind of players you want to play with and mix and match different classes for different comps. Choose what the XP they are and choose how good they are. You can also try pre-made groups if you don't have very good luck with guilds. However, I don't recommend doing this above 1500 CR because of the amount of liars and trollers who lie about how much XP they have when they have less than what they tell you. But this is a great way to gain a bit of CR and experience before joining a team, as well as making a bunch of new friends. One last very crucial bit is to only play with players that have your experience and rating, to ensure that you are getting maximum points for each victory and lose as less points as possible for each loss. Now that's my 2-minute guide on getting to 2K. Enjoy the PvP experience and I'll see you on the battlefield. Peace out.
So this one is interesting for me because it's important as a video creator to write to your audience, and I feel like I'm his target audience for how to hit 2K. I am bad at PvP. If you've ever watched my streams, you see that I am Number 2, not good at PvP. So, Tier Blue is an established YouTuber. He's got 11,000 subs, so go check him out. I learned a lot here. I didn't know that there was one person doing callouts. I just watch streams and hear everyone repeating the same thing 3 times and screaming at each other. I didn't know that the healer's main job was to set up stuns. I thought the healer's main job was to heal. But I kind of felt like after watching this video that it was less of a guide on how to hit 2K and more of a guide on like how to get started in PvP. Like how to hit 2K. Wouldn't that have to be like you need 3 people at the blacksmith and you need 1 tank and a healer at the lumber mill, and like isn't it more strategy, or is it just as easy as he's saying where just queue up? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts, though, down below. And on this one, include your level of experience in PvP. Because I'm curious, is this a guide that makes sense to people who are already good at PvP? Or is it a guide that makes sense to people who have no experience in PvP?
Greetings, friends. I am DreyfusXano here with the Xanoic Brotherhood and want to buy gold. We here at the Xanoic Brotherhood pride ourselves on our family friendliness and our creativity. Today, we are going to show you very quickly how to do improv comedy. We're going to show you how to play a very simple improv game, and then we encourage you, the viewer, to actually play along with us and to try this out for yourself. The game that we're going to show you is a game that we play every week with our improv show of Mr. Smite's Improv called Hey Waiter. In this game, Kabatica is going to pretend to be a customer at a restaurant while Asmodarius and I serve him soup. We get a random suggestion from the audience and use that suggestion as to what could be in this soup. And Kabatica will say, "Hey waiter, there is being a blank in my soup." To which Asmodarius and I will make a joke about that thing in that soup. Your first suggestion is going to be a Murloc. "Hey waiter, there is being a Murloc in the soup."
"Oh, don't mind him. He just works for scale."
You might want to gurgle some mouthwash afterward. Your breath's a little rank. Okay, Kabatica, let's switch up to a taco. "Hey waiter, there seems to be a taco in the soup of mine."
Well, I feel like a shell of my former self.
Oh, tomato, tomato.
Are you going soft on me?
Well, I know one thing. We shell out the big bucks when it comes to our food we serve. So there you have it. You can try this game out with literally any item and see what sort of jokes you can come up with. So for Asmodarius, Kabatica, and myself, we are the Zenoic Brotherhood with Want to Buy Gold. And until next time, Dionysaka and Arcanon Poros.
Oh, and happy gold making.
I thought this thing was search, craft, and post every day.
Oh, he changed that a while ago. You're really digging deep there.
Guys, this is supposed to be an official, polished tutorial. Not this me, Senpai.
Ooh, you have pie?
Dreyfus. Dreyfus, you're amazing. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. So definite brownie points with the outro. I haven't search craft post every day was a long time ago. So this one's interesting and unique in that it's not a guide on like how to kill Mythic Jaina or how to do a +18 Shrine of the Storms. It's talking about like how to play a game if you're a role player inside World of Warcraft, or how to just play a game with your friends. So here we go. Let's take his advice and let's say, okay. So let's take his advice and I'll do the prompt and y'all give me the replies. So, hey waiter, there's a stapler in my soup. And you know what? This is fun. So let's do another one. Hey waiter, there's a flashlight in my soup. So, let me know y'all's replies down below and also what you thought about the video. Do you want someone who can bring some just general entertainment to the channel and who can even outpun me like 100% of the time? So, let's go on and mentioning a +18 Shrine of the Storms.
Hey, this is Cybersnipe with Want to Buy Gold, and today's guide will focus on Mythic Plus and how to increase your chances of success. We'll be focusing on a +18 Shrine of the Storms, but as 2 minutes isn't a massive amount of time, I've selected some of the key moments in this dungeon to optimize your route. Affixes include Raging, Tyrannical, Volcanic, and Reaping.
Tyrannical Shrine, no!
When all of the mobs spawn as close as possible to one another, making this spot ideal for the first Reaping. Try to employ AoE stuns and interrupts here. Directly after the Reaping, try out this mini elemental skip. Now this doesn't require a Warlock, but it definitely helps. Ensure to wait for the patrol to be out of range first. And as you can see, we make use of a Rogue Shroud and Feral Stampeding Roar. After the first boss, try skipping Windspeaker Heldis to save time. You want to mount up and position yourself as close to the edge as possible, or make use of what little utility Warlocks have. Lol, just kidding. After a short intermission and some expert editing, you'll find yourself at the Elemental Skip. A harsh fight even on Tyrannical Week. Use your Rogue or even a Knight of Shadowmelt to pull the Elemental away from the party. Meanwhile, your team position on the cliff edge and scuttle past. Lockgate. Depending on how you manage your route, you'll have Reaping around about here. Make use of jumping into the water as a way to quickly stack up the Reaping mobs for mass cleaving. Now one of the most popular skips is the Bridge Skip, via a Rogue Shroud. Note by this point in the dungeon, you want around about 80% enemy forces slain to ensure you'll meet the percentage after the final boss, hence the extra pack we pull. Now I want you to take note of the time lost during this final Reaping. I want to take a moment to highlight that even successful runs can have mistakes, and as you can see, even at 3 times speed, it takes over 70 seconds for the Reaping mobs to finally reach us to be cleaved down. In fact, it takes so long that you even have enough time to tab out and give the channel a follow. Anyway, luckily our Feral Druid brought the damage. Alright dudes, this has been Cybersnipe with Want to Buy Gold. I hope you've enjoyed this quick 2-minute guide to be a better dungeoneer. And of course, I had to leave the loot in just to tease you.
Alright, that's a dope trinket, but doubling up. Come on now. Great 2-minute guide. And way to pick a topic that was achievable in a short 2-minute guide. So, like, rather than talking about how to be good at Mythic Plus, like focusing on one dungeon and just the skips you can do within that dungeon. So much of the Mythic Plus community is scared to do high level keys because there's so many little intricate things like this. Like, yeah, you can watch VODs of the best guys in the world, but they're doing everything so smoothly, you don't always pick up on the little nuances that they're doing, like you said, with getting in the water to stack up the reaping mobs. That's just a one-step thing that you might not realize watching a VOD they're doing intentionally. So, even if you aren't into the PvE stuff, let me know what you think of that guide. Would you subscribe for information like that?
Hey guys, this is KainFamilyFortune with WTBGold, and today I would like to tell you about the most overlooked portion of World of Warcraft roleplaying. I know. Roleplaying has that stigma of immediately wanting to roll tune on either Moonguard or Argent Dawn and running as fast as you physically can to Goldshire Inn, just so you can get hot and steamy with this attractive Draenei that you see from across the bar. No, that's not the goal here. The goal is to essentially make you a better player in the wide world of role-playing. How to get started is simple. Close your eyes and imagine a character, your character. Whether it be a dashing rogue looking to steal from the rich and give to the poor, who might also deal with contracts and espionage, to commander in the king's army, whose dutiful service to the Church of Holy Light might be at odds recently due to going back and forth from the war front. So you got your character, or at least a loose idea of your character. Awesome. What's next? We're going to go ahead and download an actual RP add-on, something like Total Roleplay 3, Complete Roleplay, My Roleplay. For this example, we'll go ahead and start using Total Roleplay 3 since I feel like it is the most user-friendly to beginners, as well as it really gives you the ability to expand. The first step is to start filling out information, kind of like a questionnaire, only it's just about your character, like what's their name. If you have trouble with this part specifically, I love to use a site called fantasynamegenerator.com. You can either choose from a drop-down menu of a bunch, like a myriad of different options of where your character sits on a paradigm. This is all up to you and what you want your character to be. Before we get to the meat of it all, which is filling out your background, depending on the group you want to RP with, will be discussion of the lore. Most users, when they seek out RP, they try to make sure
pan around,
a believable character, because sadly, we just aren't the most powerful, crazy, concocted people that we are made out to think we are. We aren't the sole saviors of Azeroth. We are individuals who may have passed by or worked loosely with major lore characters. Another major thing with the RP community is that the vast majority aren't going to take a ton of time reading your profile before seeking roleplay. I usually tell people to keep their profile short and sweet. Let your interactions with the other person tell the story, not your profile. What I'm trying to say is show, not tell. Finally, I wanted to go over some abbreviations that you might be reading and not know the meaning of. IC is in character. OOC is out of character. Number one rule that I always say is just don't be a dick. If you're attempting to pickpocket from a player or have any type of conflict with another player, don't expect to get off scot-free. Your actions will have consequences. Then there is para, semi-para, multi-para, mirror, and then casual. These are essentially just all different dialogue options that people will prefer to speak in, with either paragraph, semi-paragraph, multi-paragraph. And then there's casual, which usually technically refers to the people that are just wanting to have a faster pace of conversation or shorthand pace. Mirror, which is essentially that they will try to mimic the style that the other person that they're interacting with is using. So essentially, if you're writing paragraphs, the other person will try to do so in return. Now you might be thinking, why roleplay at all? The number one thing I see on the forums is people getting unmotivated to do dailies. Roleplay might be the answer in between content droughts where it seems like there isn't anything to do. Everyone has a story to tell, and now it's up to you on how you want to fit in with it all. But that's all I got for this episode. Thank you all for watching, and please leave a comment if you want a further breakdown of character creation or stuff that deals with lore, anything at all. I would love to hear your feedback. But anyway, have a great day, guys. Good luck, and happy role-playing.
I love this video. Now, I had to cut out a lot because it was way over the 2 minutes, but like just the genuine nature of things, like when he started and he was talking about, you know, imagine your character. It was interesting to me that he started off saying, Like maybe it's steal from the rich and give to the poor. But he didn't stop there. He said, who is also doing this and who also was raised by Sylvanas and is struggling with the light. Like at first it felt like it was going a little bit too in depth, but then it drew me in and made me realize that no, there's a depth of storytelling here, that it's not just like daily quests where you get in, you get out. What's the objective of the quest? Okay, go. No, this is like just relax and let your imagination roam. Beyond that, it was a good guide. You have some terms that you should know. You have some add-on choices. There was an explanation of why he prefers specific add-ons. Just a really good video for anyone like me who thought that role-playing is just naked Draenei in Goldshire. So, let me know what you think of Kain, and let's move on.
Hey guys, Tim here today, taking a look at the most efficient way to farm love charms. So where we are is Mogu'shan Palace, which is right next to the Shrine of the Seven Stars if you're Alliance, or the hard one if you're Horde, but yeah, for the Alliance. Has to be level 100 for this to work. I guess you could do it at 99, but it'd be a lot harder. And a monk preferably, specifically with Rushing Jade Wind, and I like bringing Whirling Punch too. I've already cleared on this character through the first boss, so I'm going to clear over to this doorway, hang a right. The first boss is in here.
Good fast forward, no one cares, so yep, just speed on through the dungeon.
Okay, so when you get down to the Forgotten Passageway, what you're going to do is you're going to come down, clear out this little room, and then I found the best spot is right in here. So you're going to drop your ox statue. I like it right about here. You can see I've been testing some stuff here already just to make sure. And what I like to do is just kind of hang out on there. Now, some people use a macro for this. I have found that I'm much more efficient just setting the keybinds I want to 1 through 4 here. So we're going to use Tiger Palm. I like the spinning kick. When spinning kick's not there, then I'm going to use Rushing Jade Wind. And every once in a while when Healing Elixir goes down to, or comes up to 2, I'm going to use it. So Tiger Palm, spinning kick, Rushing Jade Wind, Healing Elixir if it's off, back up to 2. So I did some earlier.
Oh!
Of course, I'm getting some here now, so it's not really 1683. It was 1581 for 60 minutes. So as you guys can tell, that was actually interrupted. I was interrupted a few times during that hour. So I would say, you know, it was probably realistically about 55 minutes of killing. And you know, 1600 for 55 minutes is not bad. If you're a little more efficient than I was, because I do tend to lose focus after a while, I won't lie, I'm pretty sure you could push this up to 2000 an hour if you were really focused on, you know, right when your ox went down, making sure that you're always getting the maximum number of mobs. But like I said, this for me is totally good enough. So that's it, guys. Hope this gets you mounts and pets and everything you want, and that you do it before it gets nerfed. So this is 7.3.5 approved. So it's still working as of now, but they have historically been nerfing these pretty heavily. So hopefully this one's there this year, next year, and for years to come.
Now, this wasn't a video made specifically for the contest. He said it was a joke, but I don't entirely believe him. So, Grumpy Warlock is a friend of the channel. It's Timmy Tech TV. If you're into hardware or software goodies, go check him out on his main channel, Timmy Tech TV. He's got like 40k subs over there. But I love this guide. It's short and sweet. It's got all the prerequisites. It's got the class and the talents you need. It shows where to go without wasting a lot of time with, like, he already had the boss killed, so we don't have to watch him kill a boss. It's just a prerequisite. And he showed his results and showed that he was actually doing it, that you actually can fill your entire bags up with these lovely charms. So, great guide. Thank you so much. And let me know what y'all think. Would you share this video with your friends?
Hello everyone, it's Nisa. And in this video, I'll be showing you how to get the Hive Mind mount. Let's get straight into it. There are 2 parts to getting this mount. There are 4 different colored monocles that you can obtain, and you will first need to obtain one of them, then you'll need to find a group with the other 3. 1 lucky person per group doesn't need to get any of them. Now we'll be covering all of the monocles in this guide, and you will find the timestamps in the description below. The beginning of this puzzle for everyone starts in Shatrath, at this vendor called Grifta, where you will need to buy a talisman of true treasure tracking and equip it. The red monocle is sold by a vendor in the Shimmering Expanse. Sir Finley Murgleton will require 5 scintillating Murloc skin lotions, 5 potent gastropod gloops, and 5 captured caviation bubbles. Then head off to these vendors in the specific order. Each vendor will have 1 item you can trade off at that moment, and buy as many as you can of that specific item before moving on to the next NPC. Go back to Murgleton and buy 80 seashells, then head to these: Gloomy Bluefin, Little Carp, Volatile Violet Scale, Crimson Angerfish, then the Manta Stargazer. Congratulations, you have enough to buy the first item required for the monocle. Now this is probably the most intimidating part of the whole puzzle, and it starts in the Halls of Origination in Uldum. Head to the dungeon, clear the first boss, and head to the elevator. With the neck equipped, you will see an orb that you can interact with, which will activate the puzzle. Now the goal here is to turn all of the constellations to the same color. To do that, you will need to interact with these refractors. There are 3 different types of them. The round ones affect the constellations in a square around them, while the cross ones affect the constellations in the direction the refractor is pointing. And you should find some constellations that cannot be affected by any of them, meaning they will never change color. And for me, that color was blue. Once you turn all of the constellations into one color, a chest will appear and you can loot your yellow monocle. All you have left to do is go get your reward, which will be in Cordana in the Borean Tundra. At the very top of the nexus, you will find a chest containing the blue monocle.
How did they figure
Alright,
this
now
stuff
that
out?
everyone has a monocle, we can all head to Suramar.
Crazy.
Whatever you decided, make sure at this point that everyone in your party either has War Mode on or War Mode off. Also, make sure that everyone has their followers disabled. In Suramar, you will find 4 withered with glowing eyes corresponding to the colors of each monocle. He will be able to interact with a lost cat toy. That toy will deal damage to the player, and that number will be your code for the next step. That's when you're gonna need to head to Court of Stars. Each cat will need to be petted a certain amount of times by a party member. The amount is what your code is for. The order of the cats is Mrs. Fluffy Muffins, Shadow, Mew, Ash, and Bella. When you pet the cats correctly, they will start running towards a newly spawned Avoid Orb. Click on it and you will get teleported to the next puzzle. Start by assigning a number to each one of your party members. We simply followed the rate frames order. This would be a little long to just name everything on video, so I will put a link to the pattern to follow in the description. You're almost done. This is the final part. Now, the goal is once again to get everyone across. Now, only one player in the group will be able to cross with any duo. Now, player 1 will also be able to cross with a specific trio, so keep player 1 on the disc and have other duos jump on until you find who that trio is. Send the trio, player 1, 2, and 3, across and have player 2 stay on the other side. On the way back, player 3 and 5 switch places. Once across, player 2 and 4 switch places. You now have player 1 and 2 on the platform, while player 4 is safely across. Get the trio across again and drop off player 2.
I'm lost.
On the way back, player 3 and 5 switch places again. Stand on each circle on the ground and interact with the hive mind. Congratulations on the new mount. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to post them in the comments below and I'll answer as many as I can.
Nisaro, thank you so much for your submission. This was a video that she did for her channel a while back. These secrets have been getting so complex that it's just so hard to do a guide on them that's easy to follow, where you say like, okay, you got to do this underwater stuff, and then you got to go find these letters, and then you got to pet a cat a certain number of times, but that number of times is dependent on the damage that a wither dealt to one of your characters after you got a monocle from the fish Murgle thing that you had to do. Like, there's just so many little puzzles that it's fantastic. First of all, that anyone figured it out. Can we just give a round of applause to the Secret Finder community? Those guys are amazing. But I love this guide. I'm sorry I couldn't show you guys the whole thing, but it's a 12-minute video. So, what do you think of Nisaro? Nice, calming, pleasant voice, easy to listen to, great at explaining things, put stuff in the description, understands how YouTube works. I feel like Nisaro really figured out who her audience was before the guide even started, which is like that's fundamental goodness. Now onto our final video. This is from a longtime friend of the channel, Sai.
Hey there guys, this is Zai with Want to Buy Gold, and today I will be explaining how freehold power leveling works and how you yourself can get started in this quite ludicrous market. Now the way freehold leveling works is actually quite simple. You find yourself a buyer, you take him to freehold, and you try to aim to clear the entire dungeon within 4 to 7 minutes while they follow you around. Now in order to clear a current content dungeon so quickly and easily, you're going to want to make yourself something called a twink. A twink is a character that has the best in slot gear for their current level and their experience turned off as to not level up while doing leveling for other people. By far the best class for freehold leveling would be the Demon Hunter, due to their overpowered synergies between their Azerite traits, tier sets, and Legion legendaries. Due to these synergies and the absurd amount of gear these characters have, their stats can get quite out of control. Here's a screenshot of my character's stats during a freehold run. The reason these stats are so inflated is the way that WoW handles stats at low levels. The way stats work at low level is that they are inflated by a percentage amount to make your class feel more smooth while you're leveling up. So that while leveling up, 1 point of haste is worth way more than 1 point of haste for a max level character. You can actually see between these two screenshots of a level 103 and a level 104 character, you actually lose stats if you don't change your gear. So therefore, a 110 twink and full best in slot gear will always be better than a 111 twink at their best gear. The catch to this is that 111 twinks have a way easier time gearing up due to their access to BFA leatherworking. With access to BFA leatherworking, you can quite easily get to 230 to 233 item level gear with blue procs. Whereas at 110, your only option for crafting gear is max obliterum gear, which will only go up to 175 eye level, which is much lower than the BFA counterpart. Due to this, 110 twinks have to spend much more time grinding at Mythic Antorus and World Quests in order to get the gear that they need to be able to do freehold. Now that being said, why put in the effort to be a 110 twink when you can just do it at 111 with such easier access? Well, it's quite simple. You want to keep yourself at 6 minutes per run on average so that you never are wasting time and you're never instance capped. So that if your buyer wants to take a restroom break, you can then speed up your next few runs in order to preserve your 6 minutes per run average. A few other things you're going to want on your twink before you start doing runs is you want to pick up enchanting and you want to pick up tailoring. Most of the mobs in freehold are humanoids, therefore you want to have cloth scavenging to acquire more tidespray linen and deep sea satin. You will also get a lot of blues and greens during your run, therefore running enchanting to disenchant these can up your profit margins. You can then take all your cloth and do the BFA bracer shuffles, and I will link to Reckle's video down below explaining that. A few final things: if you have a second account, make sure to park an alt near the summoning stone to help summon your buyers. And you want to set your own personal hearthstone here at this inn right outside the dungeon to get there as fast as possible after finding your buyer. I will leave some resources down below for people who are looking for more specifics about gearing up your talents or the route of running the dungeon. Thanks for watching, good luck, and happy gold making.
Bruh, Sai, you killed it. So we watched a lot of these on stream, we voted on them, we talked about them there. Sai submitted right at the end of the stream. It was like a courtroom drama, him coming in. But this is just such a good guide. Look, so in just over 2 minutes, managed to explain the concept of a twink, explain the details of a twink, how to get a twink, why you want a Demon Hunter twink for the Azerite and the tier set. Like explain why you want a 110 versus a 111, but why you might want a 111. There was even where did he die? I love that. Even died and showed that even though he's an expert on this, yeah, he could still die. He could still mess up. And what was it? He forgot to hit blur or something. Like, I don't care what y'all say. Sai's coming on board the channel. This is dope. This is great content. Okay. What do I not like? Maybe a little too much blur. There were some times where it kind of hurt my eyes. But this is a video that he was making, like, literally just for the channel. So thank you for putting in the work and doing such a great job. So I'm just completely overwhelmed. This expansion idea has been in the works for a long time, a couple of years now. It's just so good to see such talented people excited to join the team, because the more experts we have working together, the more people we can help. There are so many niches in WoW alone And the more experts we have joining the team, the more people we can help. And that's the goal of the channel. Help y'all be better gamers. So, that is it for me. I'm going to try to put a poll in the corner of the screen so that people can easily vote if you don't want to write out a full paragraph. But I might have to break it up into 2 videos because I think there's a maximum limit on the number of polls that I can insert into a video. But also giggity. But thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you like the video. Like the video if you like the video. Tell your friends about this. Like, get people's opinion. I want as many people's opinions as possible. I want to just read the comments for days. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for submitting. Good luck on getting your banners. I'm excited to hand those out. And good luck. Happy gold making. Have a great day, guys.